Hey guys, Travis Daggett, 818 Investments, Forefront Enterprises. I want to talk about the 90-day anti-flip rule. What is that? Why do you give a rip about it? What does it mean to real estate investors? The 90-day anti-flip rule originally came from FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, and another word for it is a deed restriction. And what it originally did is it restricted it was going after flippers, those evil capitalist pigs that were trying to make money off people and vultures, etc. All that kind of government attitude towards the rich. So, and as a scapegoat for the housing crash. So what the restriction did is it said, look, if you buy a property and you sell it within 90 days, you can't do that for more than 120% of what you bought it for, or a 20% profit. So if you bought it for $100,000, you couldn't sell it for more than $120,000. So right off the bat, you can see there's some major problems, especially if you're doing a significant rehab. And so there's this restriction, and of course, you know, if you want to flip it in more than 90 days, no problem. If it's less, it could be a problem. Now, the FHA took away that restriction, but many lenders kept that. That's known as an overlay. In other words, they may be doing an FHA loan, which doesn't have that restriction, but then they overlay their own requirements on top of that and do have that restriction. So you're still going to run into it. I've run into it on a Fannie Mae flip that we did. It was actually a wholesale flip. And here's how we overcame it. And you can do this a lot of different ways. Some of which just involve waiting the 90 days, of course, or not buying the property. But what we did is we closed on the property. We had our buyer already. We signed a lease option agreement where he had the option to buy the property at the end of the 90 days. Of course, he was already pre-qualified with his lender. We checked that out thoroughly. Then we made sure and got a significant, you know, I want to say, boy, I don't know off the top of my head, 10%, but you know, I'd say at least $5,000 non-refundable earnest money deposit or option fee from him to protect us, so that if he didn't buy at the end of the 90 days, if somehow backed out, it'd be significant. It was something that would hurt him. So, you know, really simple. The other thing, of course, is there's a rent amount during those months. So I'm not sure what we rented out to him for, but so those 3 months, let's say it's $1,000 a month. That's another $3,000 that we collected. Again, not to be applied towards the purchase. If he doesn't, well, I guess I should say it's applied towards the purchase, but if he doesn't perform, that's another $3,000 out of his pocket. So, you know, we're talking with a $5,000 deposit and another $3,000, that's at least $8,000 that he has skin in the game, and you know, that makes a difference. So that's one option that you can do. You can lease it to him, or do a lease option, lease purchase, rent to own, whatever you want to call it. I suppose you could maybe do seller financing, but I think that'd probably be more hassle than it's worth. So there's always a way to get around these things. It just makes it more hassle. In fact, really everybody loses if you think about it. The buyer has to actually pay more for the house. We have more hassle, and that restriction didn't really help anybody, but it's there. So I hope that helps. Questions, comments, that'd be great. Be sure and subscribe for new content, and I'll talk to you next time. Travis Daggett, 818 Investments and Forefront Enterprises.